My name is Yemisi Blake and I'm a writer and performer based in London. I mainly write poetry and short stories. I've recently been working with musicians and I've also been blogging for about 2 years as well. I started writing when I was 15, 16 years old. Until then I didn't really like writing or English. I don't remember writing during secondary school, and not anything creative anyway. I started writing when I came to see performance poets. I used to listen to a radio programme on BBC London, and every Sunday I'd listen to it, and they had this roll call of events that were going on in London. So like a bit of a stalker, I went to all of them and started seeing poets, and then began writing poetry myself. For a little while, probably for about a year, I was writing in my bedroom and nobody knew about it. And then slowly I started, my first reading was at the local library. And then a couple of people knew about it and they said, yeah, you should go and do an open mic here, or you should do something here. An open mic poetry event is basically an evening that anyone can set up. You can use kind of like a local bar, a local youth club, or any event space where you invite people to come and read poetry. You come with the words you have, and there's an audience who are receptive to what you have to say. The main ways that I use my writing skill is to write poetry and to write short stories. But within that you have loads of different kind of uses for writing. You have loads of different techniques you can use. So when we say poetry, we could be talking about a poem that has a narrative and reads like a story, or we could be talking about something which is a list poem, which is kind of playing on the form of repeating lines. I find that when I'm writing short stories, I don't really know where I want to go with them. So I might place a young boy in a school playground during a fight, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's more about exploring. When I write a poem, often it's me knowing what I want to write and then putting that into the poem. Waiting for the ambulance to leave, I could hear the voices of my classmates. I knew my name was on their tongues as they refused to continue German coursework, preferring to talk about me, Stephen John, and my brother. Although he had had the siren whose notes stirred and swung around the school site, my brother had no blue lights to guide him to the hospital. Instead, there was the sun, wide-eyed and glaring. My glasses clouded with the heat of tears, and it made the sky strobe-like. I tend not to write at home, so I do most of my writing on the underground when I'm going from work to uni or back again. Any kind of quiet cafe. There's a really cool cafe in Charing Cross Road called Ray's Jazz Cafe, which is really good. The music is just that right level, so you can not be distracted, and the coffee's pretty cheap as well. I use my laptop mainly for writing. I do take down ideas and thoughts with a pen and paper, but as soon as I can, I kind of get it on the laptop, because I feel like when I'm sitting there in front of the screen, it's real work and not just kind of doodling. It's good, it's bad, and it's ugly, writing. I find that a lot of the time when I have an idea, the idea is perfect, and I write the idea down. But when I'm trying to put that idea into a poem or a short story or any kind of performance piece, you kind of, I often hit this brick wall where I don't think it's good enough. There are days where you wake up and you just think, I can't do this, I can't kind of face this kind of page and these words, and they're not sounding how I want them to. But for all of that, you do get days where it's just all right, or even if it's 10 minutes where you think, okay, I'm writing the good lines, I'm writing good words, and it's going to work. Writing is important to me because it's one of the things I can do and say that I'm pretty okay at it. It's kind of about feeling like you can actually do something new every time. You can use it in poetry, in blogging, in putting together workshops. You can work with young people, you can perform in front of audiences of 2 or 10. You get varied experiences. You know, 2 years ago I would have never have thought that I would be working with someone like Nitin Sawhney or be an emerging artist in residence at the South Bank Centre. The main thing I enjoy about writing is knowing that you've managed to get an idea into something tangible. You've managed to put what's in your head into words and onto a page or onto a stage. For me, I have loads and loads of ideas, and some of them don't make it anywhere. They don't make it out of the notebook. But to know that, you know, after 2 hours or 2 months or 2 years of working on something, that it has actually taken form in something close to what I originally imagined. Sometimes it's nothing near it. Sometimes the poem has ended up on a completely different planet to where your idea started out on. But to know that you've come to the end of something is really important. And I think that's one of the principles of life. You have to keep working on things that you're not satisfied with. There's something about the fact that you have to keep trying that is really important in writing.